One Zambia, one nation, and a very welcome to ZANIS News. We look at the top stories in the news. President Hakainde Hichilema describes late Namibian president a champion of peace and democracy. Kawe DC calls for calm among motorists who bought suspected contaminated fuel. Liquid Intelligent Technologies Kansanshi Mine donates computers to Cheshire homes. Plus, Sinazongwe residents donate towards road rehabilitation. With the news in detail, my name is Margaret Kangwa. President Hakainde Hichilema has attended burial service for late Namibian President Hage Geingob at Acres Square in Windhoek. Mr. Hichilema, who is chairperson of the SADC organ on politics, defense and security cooperation, is among regional leaders that attended the burial of Dr. Geingob, who died on February 4th, 2024. We have Kalan Muchima with the details.
The body of the late Namibian President Hage Geingob, who died on the 4th of February 2024, being led to its final resting place at the country's Hero Square, where several other liberation champions are buried. The Namibian Defense Forces carried their former commander-in-chief majestically on a gun carrier in the arena, giving him a befitting send-off. The body was accompanied by President Ngolo Mbumba and the widow, Madam Monica Genkos. President Mbumba gave a last tribute before the actual burial.
Today, they are joined by a national hero who excelled in his assigned tasks as a courageous freedom fighter, as a unifying chairperson of the Constituent Assembly, as a consequential first Prime Minister and the third President of the Republic of Namibia, and the ruling party SWAPO. Today, they are joined by their fellow hero, a son of the soil, a revolutionary icon, and the torchbearer of freedom, justice, and equality.
A 21-gun salute was then given to the late president, accompanied by a military fly-past. Republican President Hakainde Hichilema was among the several heads of states and government representatives that witnessed the burial at the Heroes Square. The head of state was accompanied by First Lady Mtinta Hichilema and Acting Foreign Affairs Minister Mlambo Haimbe. Kalan Muchima reporting for ZANIS. Windhoek, Namibia.
And President Hakainde Hichilema says the Southern Development Community SADC and the continent as a whole has lost a champion of peace and democracy in the late Namibian President Hage Geingob. In his tribute during a memorial church service held at the country's Independence Stadium, President Hichilema said President Geingob was an astute peace negotiator, brokering various peace talks on the African continent. Here is a report.
Straight from celebrating the Nchwala traditional ceremony of the Ngoni-speaking people of Eastern Province, President Hakainde Hichilema proceeded to Namibia to attend the memorial church service and burial of the late Namibian President Hage Geingob, who died on the 4th of February 2024, aged 82, in a Namibian hospital following an illness. In his tribute to the late president, President Hichilema described him as a peacemaker and an extraordinary statesman.
He was relentless in contributing to the liberation struggle in Namibia, in South Africa, fought against the apartheid regime, dedicated his life fostering peace, stability and democracy in Namibia, of course, SADC and our government. We acknowledge President Gengob's remarkable leadership and his true statesmanship.
Here, President Hichilema also announced that to keep the memory of President Genkob alive, Zambia has named Kasama Road in Lusaka as the Hage Genkob Road and another one as Sam Yoma Road, Namibia's founding president. Current Namibian President Nangolo Mbumba, who served under President Genkob as vice president, said all what President Genkob wished for was for a prosperous world full of possibilities.
He showed us how to persevere in the face of adversity, demonstrated grace, courage, faith, and resilience. Comrade Genkob was not just a president. To us Namibians, he was a father, a grandfather, a brother, and an...
This man was a man of principle, a worthy opponent, a critical debater, but a man who would always hold hand.
Several tributes were also given by global leaders from Germany, Finland, China, Qatar, and several tributes from various African heads of states and continental bodies such as SADC and AU, as well as the Commonwealth and United Nations.
He was, like he never wanted to be old. He belonged to all of us. He accepted that as a family. We accepted that too. I'm not the same person I was before this country started. I'm not even sure why.
President Hichilema declared 24th and 25th February 2024 as days of national mourning for the late Namibian president. He was accompanied to Namibia by First Lady Mtinta Hichilema and Acting Foreign Affairs Minister Mlambo Haimbe. Kalan Muchima, reporting for ZANIS, Windhoek, Namibia.
Thank you so much, Kalan Muchima, for that report. And may all the souls of our beloved departed one rest in eternal peace. Now, the Vice President Mutale Nalumango has called on women in the country to fully participate in politics in order to fight injustice, especially in areas of poverty. Mrs. Nalumango says this is in order for them to uplift people's livelihoods in communities, saying that women are leaders by nature who believe in the well-being of humankind. She says poverty should not be entertained at any level, and urged women and youths to stand up and venture into politics so that they can help to fight poverty, which has been affecting people, especially women. And speaking when she officiated at the Round Table for Women in Politics and Partners in Lusaka, Mrs. Nalumango encouraged women to use challenges they face as opportunities to realize their dreams. The Vice President also urged women in politics to have a positive mindset in their pursuit for political positions, as political life calls for people that believe in themselves. And visiting UNDP Assistant Secretary General and Director for Regional Bureau for Africa, Hayuna Eziakonwa, has urged women to have confidence in themselves if they are to participate in politics.
Injustice number one is poverty. Injustice number one, to me, is poverty. Why should some people be so poor and others better, whether at personal level, at regional level, at district level, at village level? We have to stand up. They will not give us space. Let us demand. Even in affirmative action behavior, let us demand. We are full. They want to make us like it's a woman. What is wrong with a woman? It's a person. Your Excellencies, you are doing more than what the girls, my honorable member said. We work 4 times higher. Want them more in Parliament. And we need to look at the law. We need to hold hands. Why shouldn't I support another woman? I always wonder. And please, can we stop saying it? At least in Zambia, I'm appealing to women. Can we stop saying women don't support women? Because the more we say it, the more it settles in our hearts, and the more we practice it. Women can support women, and we will support women.
My message tonight, I think we need to avail opportunities for our young women on this continent who have been beaten down into not believing that they can by some very negative cultural practices, social norms. This is their reality. Every young woman has a confrontation with humiliation and lack of trust. How do we overcome that? With opportunity. Opportunity to have your voice heard, to be somewhere unexpected. I know that that's what got me to where I am today. It is that journey as a volunteer with an international organization that built my confidence and my sense of purpose, that I, as a woman, as a young woman, I could dream that my world was bigger than my community, and that I could aspire to bigger things, and that I had a place, a seat at the table, and a voice at the table. And so my challenge to all of us, if you have a spot, whether it's in the spotlight or not, a spot, a position, you find yourself anywhere where you have some power, you must ask yourself, what young woman have I enabled to go out there and develop her confidence to be a leader?
Currently, at parliamentary level, out of 167 members of parliament, there are only 25, as I've said, including our Vice President, who is the acting President of the Republic of Zambia, and the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, and the two nominated. And also, if you look at the mayoral council chair, we have also a very, very few presentation of only about, for example, before I go to the mayoral, it is on a cabinet level. We only have 3 cabinet ministers. That's interpreting of 12% representation. And at provincial level, we only have 2 provincial ministers interpreting 20% representation. At mayor and the council chairperson, we only have 12 women out of 116, counting 10%.
Indeed, women need to stand up. In Western Province, the Hakainde Entrepreneur Mentorship Initiative for Cooperatives and the Farmers Development Cooperative Union have been launched in Western Province. FDCU is aimed at promoting Zambian cooperatives in productive investment by Zambians, while the HEMIC is a positive platform for President Hakainde Hichilema in his private capacity to share his lifelong entrepreneurship experiences in business and the corporate world. We have more in the following report.
The Farmers Development Cooperative Union, FDCU, that is having around 25,000 cooperative affiliates, was formed in 2022 and was legally registered in March 2023 under the Cooperative Societies Act No. 20 of 1998. FDCU aims at promoting investment for Zambians in all sectors of business, and its objective is to promote profits through sustainable businesses in all sectors for the members. In Western Province, FDCU has since been launched, where Acting Deputy Permanent Secretary Richard Mulwanda represented the provincial administration.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm made to appreciate that the Farmers Development Cooperative Union is a Zambian cooperative whose aim is to promote investment in Zambia by Zambians for Zambians. Very clear. On the other hand, the Hakainde Entrepreneurship Mentorship Initiative for Cooperatives is a platform of our beloved Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, in his private capacity to share his lifelong entrepreneurial experiences in business and the corporate world so that these cooperatives can also learn and become successful organizations.
Farmers Development Cooperative Union Western Province Executive Director Barbara Michelori-Tia appealed to her colleagues to embrace FDCU.
Today the province will witness one of the very important affiliates being launched in the business circles of the province and country at large. I would like to inform my fellow colleagues to embrace and take this initiative with the seriousness it deserves.
Meanwhile, FDCU Director of Public Relations Susan Mulambia highlights the mentorship and training strategy that the cooperative has put in place.
Farmers Development Cooperative Union has put up a tailored program in mentorship and training through the Hakainde Entrepreneur Mentorship Initiative for Cooperatives. So through this mentorship, the cooperatives will be able to go through the mindset change through the mentorship, which they have to go through 4 stages for them to complete the mentorship training for the mindset change transformation.
Ikacha Nasindala, ZANIS in Mongu, Western Province.
Now, in Central Province, Kawe District Commissioner Lennox Shimwambwa has called on motorists who bought suspected contaminated fuel at a named filling station in Kawe to remain calm as they await results from the Energy Regulation Authority. The district commissioner who visited the service station says there is need to urgently attend to the matter. Kelvin Tembo filed in this report.
These are some of the motorists who have their cars parked at Puma filling station in Kawe after their vehicles were filled with suspected contaminated fuel. Kawe District Commissioner Lennox Shimwambwa visited the pump station.
That ERB has come to take samples of the petrol that was consumed. So we are waiting for results. We don't want to blow our own trumpets, but obviously there was suspected contamination of the fuel. Suspected contamination, and I'm happy that samples now have been taken. And I'm told also that the motorists have also given statements to police, so that once we also get results from ERB, then we chart the way forward with yourselves as Puma. So to just ask the members of the public to be calm while these results are being studied or analyzed. So
the affected motorists, who are mostly bus drivers, gave their side of the story.
nokula fiora chapa half tank yaisa pakota tank yeka nokushima mwaina kufano wanyanda kupedo kwa ile shima twabikire kulela bitire fiora mayo kuma tena nafika pa zesko hacheki nasa sunga motoka yalila time nalia kumwacha ale checking ndebora futi hapa pa zesko na shesa futi pana na 5 liter na shita na vika.
Some have been forced to remove their fuel tanks for cleaning. Kelvin Tembo for ZANIS in Kabwe, Central Province.
We continue with the news. Central Province Permanent Secretary Milna Mwanakampwe has flagged off the disbursement of funds to over 8,600 social cash transfer SCT beneficiaries in Chitambo district. Mr. Mwanakampwe says government increased the caseload for Chitambo district from 7,650 to 8,693 beneficiaries to enable them access social protection and manage their challenges. He says the government has improved the disbursement of funds to deserving vulnerable beneficiaries through the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services using the introduction of digital payments. Here is a report.
He has flagged off the disbursement of funds to over 8,500 vulnerable households under the Social Cash Transfer Scheme in Chitambo district of Central Province. Central Province Permanent Secretary Milna Mwanakampwe has assured government's commitment to providing reliable network services, which has been a challenge in accessing the monies in some parts of the province.
But I want to assure you that your government, working together under the spirit of one government policy, will make sure that you have enough network towers in the next few months, if not years, to make sure that all of us are able to access digital platforms. This program has grown over time in size and scale, with the current provincial caseload standing at 105,895.
Chitambo District Commissioner Evans Chola assures beneficiaries of the government's commitment to better their lives.
Kufika mpembe alifika kuli 444, aba likoma phone na wafika pali 344. Edo aba alapokera pateko balikuma 100.
A beneficiary, Mildred Commander, has applauded government for its efforts to alleviate poverty among vulnerable citizens. Reporting for ZANIS in Chitambo district, I'm Namatamaniwanga.
Now, the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEC, has disbursed 2.79 million kwacha through the Wusulu microfinance loans, benefiting 179 women, youths and people living with disabilities. And CEC Public Relations Manager Mijelo Mukata says, in addition to the 2.79 million kwacha, the Commission has further spent 500,000 kwacha during the 2024 Nchwala ceremony in Chipata town of Eastern Province. Mr. Mukata said this during an exhibition by CEC at the 2024 Nchwala ceremony. Details in this report.
The Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEC, a statutory under the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, took the initiative of showcasing its products and services at this year's 2024 Nchwala traditional ceremony in Chipata district of Eastern Province.
Coming to Nchwala 2024 is really a build-up to what the Commission has been doing since inception, and focusing on this week, the Commission has been in the province, the Eastern Province, just to monitor projects as well as sensitize the community on what the Commission is doing. And having done that, we've been able to also attempt at clearing the backlog of applications that we have for the Wusulu loans. Wusulu is a microloan product that the Commission has got, where we are predominantly targeting women, youth, and persons with disabilities, and disbursing amounts between 5,000 kwacha and 50,000 kwacha. And when I say addressing the backlog, we have from the applications already sitting on the application portal at the Commission been able to evaluate applications from 100 applicants who successfully submitted their applications. They've also undergone pre-finance training to ensure that basic business etiquette is inculcated in the recipients payments of the loans, as well as to remind them of their obligation when they receive the loans. They have to pay back the facility in order for other recipients to pay back. So all in all, CEC has been able to support 179 women, youth and persons with disabilities with a Busulu loan, and this investment value was about 2.79 million kwacha, with the additional injection of 500,000 kwacha that we're doing here at Chinchwala 2024. The Commission is really excited because this is more people receiving financing, this is more people bettering their lives and undertaking various businesses that they are interested in.
And beneficiaries of the Busulu microfinance loans expressed happiness and thanked government for the empowerment. Unachibende for ZANIS in Chipata.
Now, on the Copperbelt Province, the National Aquaculture Research and Development Center, NADEC, under the Department of Fisheries in Kitwe's Mwekera area, has projected to produce over 1 million fingerlings this year. NADEC Research Officer Hagai Gondwe told ZANIS that the center has received overwhelming demand for fingerlings from the Democratic Republic of Congo and local farmers. Mr. Gondwe said the institute produced 1 million fingerlings last year and managed to sell over 700,000. He said the current dry spell and the high temperature the country is experiencing is favorable for fish breeding, which he said the institute would want to use to maximize its fingerlings production.
Projection, like for last year, we were projecting to breed 1 million fingerlings, okay, of which we've done all we can, and I think we've reached the target. It's only that maybe the demand from our farmers is not as we expected. Okay. Yeah, but of course, the ones that we've bred here are more than even 700. The Congo market is also there. It's so much overwhelming, especially on the catfish. They like the catfish so much, so they are buying also in bulk. The dry spell on us, it has both positive and negatives. The negative in the sense that when the dry spell goes beyond where it is now, you may have challenges with breeding, meaning that the fish that the brooders are making will be exposed to light or sunlight, and that in the long run will affect the eggs, and the eggs may go bad. Yeah. But on the positive, the way it is as at now, we are being helped by the same prolonged sunlight that we are receiving in terms of the fish to breed, because the science that is there is that when it gets cold, the fish reduces on breeding, or even stops breeding But in this case, it's a plus on us.
Namala Council Chairperson Abel Monga has expressed concern over the negative impact that the prolonged dry spell may cause on the livestock. Mr. Monga said Namwala and other surrounding districts depend on the grass pasture along the Kafue Plains, which is now drying up. And Zambia Development Agency ZDA has however assured livestock farmers that the agency is working on modalities to bring on board partners who will start growing pastures for the cattle in Namwala district. Details in this report.
The prolonged dry spell that has been experienced has not only affected the food security for people, but the food and water for animals has equally been affected. The livelihoods of farmers who depend most on farming is now worrying.
As you may know that Namwala, we depend on the cattle. We are worried now. We don't know what our animal will eat. Because already in the plain, PS is dry. We have no rains. Our farmers, every night and the day are crying. We don't know what we are going to do.
In Namwala, hope is not all lost as government plans to start growing the pasture for animals.
Working with the provincial administration and Zambia Development Agency, we want to attract people who will come and start growing pasture for the animals and other supplements for the animals, medicines for the animals, and also develop as many water points as possible.
We want to work with you, the council and various stakeholders in Namwala, to make sure that we perfect this idea.
I'm happy that PS, Director General, have come to help us.
Meanwhile, Namwala Farmers Association Chairperson Bright Chisamba has encouraged farmers to utilize the failed crops for animal feed.
We want to ensure that this failed crop will be managed in such a way that it will be used to feed our animals in the few months to come. Because we know that the plains will not be able to provide anything, but we will encourage our farmers to ensure that the failed crop is prepared for our animals.
Costa Kimdenda, ZANIS, in Namwala District, Southern Province.
Now, Chief Tungati of the Bemba people of Luwingu District has praised the government for modernizing the operations of the Zambia Flying Doctor Service. The traditional leader says the modern Zambia Flying Doctor Service has wider coverage compared to the previous one, which was only known to conduct emergency medical evacuations in areas with airstrips. He noted that the service is now able to reach everywhere, even in places without airstrips, through the use of roads. The traditional leader said this has enabled people across the country, including in places like his chiefdom, to access specialized medical services. Chief Tungati said this when a team from the Zambia Flying Doctor Service paid a courtesy call on him at his palace in Luwingu before providing medical services to the community in the area. And Zambia Flying Doctor Service Public Relations Officer Salome Mwanza explained that the service is in the area to provide medical services to the people, noting a team of doctors is going to different areas to check on people with different illnesses.
Kaleta bale mafia be nkweba tauna tukonkala lulu kwali bafya ma emergencies bale konkambi yo muntu afunika cyane ero kabiri uko bale yafinikula kwale botuma ya strip uko bale yafe chapa noti kukumbinga fino bale saisa kuno kwatongati ukankala bulipo sana ubo flying doctor ile bomba na nguko afuilisha abantu bakutira malwele muno musha emo yabaye mbaba ntukayirinda la matabakwanisha isa kweba tenganina kuya kundola na ngwenganino kuya ukasama nomba apo imi bombelele moneka ipe aba flying doctor ukula tukonka fefwe bantu kuti bese batunda pile kunokwina chakutotela sana kuba kalamba bale tungulula flying doctor pali minister
na batutuma ba flying doctors ukwebati kabieni kamoneni nabwaba nenu ukofo bekele mu manefo munda bafa marweli ari kanaka so na twisa ni libumba lya bashinganga bambi bali shala ku luwingu nango line pali no shtabali ku kasama beni bali chita ifya mafupa bena ba doctor so bali chita babombera ko ku bomba kulya then ba ko kasama so pali lero ba kasa but bala bwela kuno ku ndapa abantu bakonkanye kukunda.
Senior Chief Nsokolo of the Mambwe-speaking people in Senga Hill District has pledged to work with the government in securing the national food basket. The traditional leader has since issued a stern warning against his subjects in the habit of selling their maize before harvesting. Namsonkwe Wembia reports that Senior Chief Nsokolo sounded the warning when Senga Hill District Commissioner Elizabeth Ngoma called on him at his palace. Here is a report.
Senga Hill District is expected to record a bumper harvest in the 2023-2024 farming season following the favorable rainfall pattern and timely distribution of farming inputs. And to ensure food security, Senior Chief Nsokolo has drawn a sensitization program for his subjects along the porous border area with Tanzania not to sell their maize fields before harvest.
To also invite our friends from Ministry of Agriculture so that they can be accompanying us as we go to talk to people, especially those at the border. Because sometimes you find that they sell maize even before they haven't even harvested, which is very sad. Government has given us input. We need to sell them so that even those provinces that don't have anything, they also benefit.
And Senga Hill District Commissioner Elizabeth Ngoma said government is equally concerned about the issue.
To urge our people not to sell their fields before they even harvest. And the best thing that we do, once we harvest, let's sell to the government. Because the government will keep in turn. This government will not let their people die of hunger. So out of whatever they will keep, it will still come to sustain us as Zambians. So Kanavesa, we've taken note of your concerns and together we'll work on them.
Senior Chief Nsokolo also appealed for a police post at Chimula to be servicing the other side of the district due to its vastness when the commissioner called on him at his palace.
It is shorter to go to Mbala than going to Senga there. So we urgently need a police post, either here where the area is a center, or at Chimula there where anyone can access the police services.
ZANIS in Senga Hill District, Namsokwe Wembia.
Now, in Northwestern Province, Liquid Intelligent Technologies, in collaboration with Kansanshi Mine, has donated computers with free internet connectivity to Cheshire Homes Primary School in Solwezi District in Northwestern Province. And speaking during the handover ceremony, Provincial Permanent Secretary Colonel Grandson Katambi said the gesture signifies their commitment to empowering citizens by enhancing educational standards through technology. Colonel Katambi said technology has become a powerful tool for empowerment, education and progress. More in the following report by Mwiche Chipoya.
Homes Primary School in Solwezi District is among the 8 schools that have benefited from computers and free internet connectivity from Liquid Intelligent Technologies and Kansanshi Mine PLC. Northwestern Province Permanent Secretary Colonel Grandson Katambi has commended the 2 entities for embracing technology among learners.
We recognize that connectivity is not just a luxury, but a necessity. Technology has become a powerful tool for empowerment, education, and progress. I therefore commend Liquid Intelligent Technologies and all our weather friends, Kansanshi, for your commitment to giving back to our community and investing in the future of our town through our children.
Liquid Intelligent Technologies Managing Director Mark Townsend says the initiative is aimed at creating a digital future, leaving no African behind.
If you read into the Liquid mission and vision, one point that is very clear is that we want to create a digital future that leaves no African behind.
And Kansanshi Mine PLC Head of Corporate Affairs, Kiansenga Chitoshi, says access to technology is vital to the success of learners.
So to ensure that this initiative is as impactful as it can be, Kansanshi has committed over $100,000 as its budget to buy computers for all of the government schools which we support.
The school authorities are elated with the development.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education in Northwestern Province, we want to say thank you for this partnership by Liquid Intelligence Technologies, Kansanshi, and your government, led by His Excellency, the President.
Mwichech Poya reporting for ZANIS, Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
Now, in Lusaka Province, the Center for Environmental Justice is implementing a project aimed at enhancing efficiency and effectiveness towards climate change adaptation response in selected districts that are mostly affected by climate change in the country. Luangwa district among the areas that has benefited from the Strengthening Civil Society Voices for Advocates in Zambia project. Detail in this report.
Government should declare national climate emergency. Once an emergency has been declared, money will be found. Donors out there, they'll mobilize the money, because when an emergency has been declared, the cooperating partners, the UN, the ambassador, the embassies, the European Union, they will look for money to put in that basket to deal with issues of emergency. But if you have not declared it as an emergency, it means you're okay with it. This is a time bomb, and climate change is not only now. It will happen next year. It will happen again the other year. In as much as carbon emissions are going into the atmosphere, climate change will continue happening.
Change, the things that have affected us with our own eyes, everyone has been affected. Why don't we come together as stakeholders and fight this fight? To have one voice. We have other NGOs that they say they do campaign of planting trees. Why don't you work together and then even that for me, even that we can push at 200, but still they'll do it. I think the message should be clear to say that we've been affected, all of us, so how can we work together to stop this?
The aim of this project is to target local organizations. We want those local, CBOs, the community-based organizations, community leaders, church groups, youth groups, and also traditional leaders, trying to capacity build them in the issues of climate change in line with advocacy. Because right now, it is the biggest issue, and Zambia being one of the countries that is affected most by the climate change, we saw it fit for civil society organizations or these community-based organizations to really understand how can they voice out.
Meanwhile, in Muchinga Province, the USAID-funded Expanding Water and Sanitation Wash project through the Netherlands Development Organization has donated 540 kilograms of granular chlorine to 5 districts in Muchinga and northern provinces. The donation is aimed at helping improve water quality and fight cholera in the 2 provinces. Miriam Kumwenda has the details.
Contaminated water and poor sanitation are major contributors to waterborne diseases like cholera and dysentery. To prevent waterborne diseases in Northern Province, USAID, through the Expanding Water and Sanitation Project, has donated 27 by 25 kilograms of granular chlorine to 5 districts in which it operates from, and Chambesh Water Supply and Sanitation Company. The chlorine is meant for the treatment of water and disinfection of public places to prevent the cholera outbreak in the region.
We are happy to participate in the prevention of the cholera outbreak that is currently going on in the country. In light of this, we are contributing granular chlorine to Chambeshi Water Supply and Sanitation Company and the 5 local authorities that we're working in, Lunte and Mungwi town councils in Northern Province, Mpika, Chinsali, Nakonde town councils for Muchinga Province. We are confident that this contribution will supplement government efforts in responding to the fight against the cholera outbreak that is currently going on.
Chambeshi Water Supply and Sanitation Company Regional Manager Lakson Simumba, who received the donation on behalf of other recipients, promised to put the items to good use.
This gesture is going to bridge the gap in terms of the cost that we should have incurred if there was no donation to Chambeshi Water. So this is not a small gesture. To us it's big. Whichever numbers, I think they'll go a long way in supporting the operations of the utility. My emphasis to my people is that let's take care and use the chemicals as intended so that we see the benefits of what has been provided to us through this interaction with USAID.
Reporting for ZANIS in Kasama, I'm Jafet Munkondia.
And finally, in the news, Sinazongo residents have pledged to donate food and non-food items worth 258,000 kwacha towards the rehabilitation of Mwemba Mamba Road. The rehabilitation works on the road are expected to commence in April this year, and residents pledged to contribute cement, meal, relish, money and labor, among other items. Sinazongo Member of Parliament Gifts Sialubalo, who also donated 100 pockets of cement, commended the residents for the unit of purpose and mobilizing resources for the rehabilitation of the road. Now, Gift Banji gives us the details.
Community participation in road development encourages the use of local knowledge and resources. It is for this reason Sinazongo lawmaker Gift Sialubalo highlighted road network challenges and donated 100 pockets of cement, while the local authority allocated 180,000 CDF towards the rehabilitation of Mwemba Mamba Road.
We thought of meeting you, dear colleagues, so that together we can plan on how we are going to attend to Mwemba Mamba Road. What is urgently required come April, there should be some tipper trucks, maybe 2 or 3, up to 4 tipper trucks. We shall need an excavator, of course, with a low bed. We shall need a roller compactor, probably a 20-ton compactor. It will do. We need a water bowser and also a grader. So me, as the MP for Sinazongwe, I'm offering 100 pockets of cement.
This year we want to do at least a better job. Twaya kutindizenga twaranga or 180,000 kwacha Mburi Council. So honorable Ndianda tuli 40 to saga ni by April tunorelete.
To promote a more sustainable approach to rural development, Mwemba residents donated food and non-food items such as cement, meal, relish, money and reba.
Nomendera sidari mwa 5,000 nilino.
Amendali aba ndio pa tusaga 20.
Ali aba kuti kumulimu uyenda kuyoberegwa ambebo amakandipange mvovu abusanya bagoberega kamba ambebo ndimu yaki.
Senedmani matambo asenedmani simankawa boli ndimenengwa mbawala ndimesimankawa. Tueta mpongozi kwa vile zya jishu.
Investors such as Maze Holdings, Mamba Coram Mine, Star Energy, Sezik pledge to plow back to the community through the corporate social responsibility by releasing earth-moving equipment.
Guzwa kuzongwe side amaze tulagwisa greda excavator ulima tipa obire awonzya kuyoberega chasika jindi ya
matipa utabauza dena amaramba atara.
Gift Banji, ZANIS in Sinazongwe, Southern Province.
Now that report brings us to the end of the news. We look at the stories that made us headlines once again. President Hichilema describes late Namibian president a champion of peace and democracy. Kawa DC calls for calm among motorists who bought suspected contaminated fuel. Liquid Intelligent Technologies Kansanshi Mine donates computers to Cheshire homes. Plus, Sinazongwe residents donate towards road rehabilitation. That is all we had for you, and on behalf of the entire news production crew, thank you so much for joining us. It has been Margaret Kangwa. Enjoy the rest of our programming.